mazima neiragura kushamina nikera tititi konka kumureba echitima chihuragura mazima kumureba charisi echitima chihomunda. The last time Auntie Lake was here, we sang this song from back in the day when we were growing up, and there was this Chitara acting group that used to have these really catchy plays that were on CD, and we'd watch them growing up, and it has stuck. So we are back with Auntie Lucky. My name is Rita, and she's going to be continuing from where we stopped. Just at this time, we are going to be talking more about what we learned from what made us or how we grew up, and it's just more like a follow-up episode like we promised you. So without speaking too much, let me first allow Auntie Lucky to introduce herself. If you're a new viewer, by the way, you're seeing this episode for the very first time, there's another one. There's the one we shot before last year, and you should catch up with that one to be sure you know the whole storyline. So hi Lucky.
Hi Rita.
How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. You've not told the followers that in that previous episode I had bought new shoes.
It's because you're barefooted today.
I had bought new shoes for the episode.
The only thing that actually stays is that you had new curtains.
Oh yes, guys. As the first person to buy curtains in my lineage generation.
Chichi. Anyways, we are back with Lucky. I am assuming there's going to be someone who's not going to watch the old video, but they're going to watch this first, and then they'll be like, oh, there's an old video. Let me go back. But first, tell them who you are and, something small about you.
Oh, hello, viewers. My name is Lucky Nyinakiza, also known as Midwife Howell. I'm a midwife by profession. I'm from Kabale, Kigezi, the hills of Kigezi, and I was here with Rita some time back, and we had a conversation about the good old days where we really had a very, very deep conversation that made us become self-appointed besties, like I usually tell her. And today we are back, and we are having a continuation about what happened after, what lessons have we picked, have those lessons shaped us to be better people, or are we toxic because we grew up in poverty?
Talk to me directly.
I shouldn't go through the
directly.
Corners. I'm
Don't
just
go
talking
through
to
the
the
corners.
viewers. I'm talking to the viewers.
We both know. Both of us know. We had a backstage conversation about friendships just a few minutes ago. And let me tell you something about Lucky. Ever since we met, I really, really admire how she pursues friendships. Could never be me. Oh my God.
I have a degree.
I am not checking up on you. I am not calling in to ask, oh, hi, how are you? I would want to meet. I'm not asking to meet for lunch because I assume you have your own hands and you cooked. Like, there's so much difference. And let me tell you, it comes from how we grew up. Yeah? It comes from how we grew up, the traumas we went through, the way you see friendship from the story you have told me,
yes,
and the way I see friendship, completely different.
Yes, yes.
Yeah? You could say I see friends as someone who probably did not have such a great relationship with my siblings. Friends are my cover-up.
Yes, yes.
And there is me who grew up alone. So I know I'm going to get it done.
With or without friends, you really
Thank you.
don't care.
I didn't have to say that, but you have, in your words. I know I'm going to get it done, and it's not your obligation as maybe someone I know or a friend to make sure I'm okay, make sure I ate. As an adult, I should be doing those things, yeah?
Oh, yes.
So those small differences, we meet people on a daily who act a certain way, and then we are forced to sometimes be mad. Like, how dare she? I cannot call this girl 3 times to go out for coffee. I'm going to pay for it. Why is she refusing?
Oh, yes.
You do not know. Maybe this person does not feel secure, not because you're a bad person,
Oh, yes.
but it's them. It's a problem they are dealing with as people and not you. So from your humble background,
Poverty filled.
Turiken background, what are some of the lessons that you can vividly look at and you're like, if I had grown up in a much better setup, I'd probably not do things the way I do them.
Okay. Members, I think one.
That's members.
I think one is how I fear poverty. On my Instagram account, when we talk about that description, whatever it is called, that's English that I don't know. I've written there that I'm on a journey to break generational curses of poverty. Now, if you grew up in a poverty-stricken background, like what I grew up in, you don't even fear HIV, by the way. HIV is a child.
HIV has medicine.
There is poverty. And you fear to be poor. Rita, me, when a man breaks up with me, I don't feel pain. My greatest pain is when I don't have money. All these other things that I be posting, hey, I'm depressed. The man I'm lying.
It's the money.
When there is no money, I have mood swings. I have headache.
Makes all of us, by the way.
I am not okay. What do you mean that there is no money? Why is my bank account saying it's 1 million instead of 3? What do you mean? I am sick because I be seeing that now you're back. You're back in the 2000s, the early 2000s.
Let me ask. Are you scared of not having money and handling money like a god? Or have you taken the step of understanding the nature of money so that one day it does not actually just say, oh, manyono, just malala, she's just playing, let's just go somewhere else. And it comes to me, for example.
I am scared of not having money. That's the truth.
That's all. Are you worried about how this money is actually going to grow?
I'm actually worried. Like, okay, what if I work for all these years and then after maybe 10 years, I don't have something to show for all the years that I have worked? That is like my biggest fear, to the extent that even when I go in my bed, I'm like, oh my God. Let me wake up. There are days, I made a TikTok. There are days I didn't want to go to work. It had rained terribly. So I showered, dressed up. I'm like, let me sleep again for an hour. The company is not for my father.
That is a fact, by the way.
So I slept. Then like 30 minutes, I was like, I remembered the other cupboard that I showed you.
Yeah.
I remembered we were in that cupboard and my mother was telling us, don't move, stay static. If you move, we drown. And I was like, you know what? I woke up, got my bag, got my umbrella, sat on a border up to Bugolobi. To work. I was like, you're going back to poverty. If you don't work, you're finished.
This is going to sound like a therapy session, but we are going to have to work on that. We should be scared of, you should be scared of poverty, but not in that manner of, let money not be a god. Lucky.
I swear to God. I will not lie to the masses that I don't fancy money, beloved.
Oh my God.
Me, your relative, I fancy money.
Earlier on, you found me with Orin, and we were talking about men that do not give money.
Why do you want me to embarrass myself in front of the masses?
What is your take?
I want to be as honest as I can. I mean, I'm a Mchiga, for those of you who didn't hear. I have no business.
Absolutely no business.
Dating a man who is not generous. Now, I don't care whether you're rich, because there is you being rich and you know you drive a Mercedes, but you're not generous.
Yeah.
Why are you not generous?
You don't deserve it.
And then if I don't deserve it, I'll use that door. I will leave. That's why the door is there. Entry and exit. I will leave. You have to be generous. That's it. You're either generous or generous. There is nothing like was once. Generous.
There's nothing as was once. Now, I grew up in not poverty. I've told you that before, I think. We did not have money. In fact, there were days we did go probably without even 1,500 shillings on us. We had everything we needed to survive. And at that point, I did not ever think we were poor until the internet.
Yes.
But the internet can humble you. Abana baka mbosema mufumbira ku masiga mbosemanya ekyo si kintu kirungi. That is when I rant. that I actually grew up in a humble background.
They,
We had everything we needed, from the vegetables to the animals to smoked meat. Like, we had
you
everything.
were rich. You were a planned villager.
Exactly. We had everything except solid cash. Yeah. We are not working anywhere. My grandmother used to have a man who I think she had helped when he was younger. And when this man grew, he got a job in the government, so he would bring her 50,000 every month.
Oh dear.
Every time they paid him, he would ride that government bike to my place and give her 50,000.
Some of you are not taking money for your parents. You're not paying tithe.
Gundi ensonga ng'ogiwanvuyizza nnyo mu bwangu ddala. So he would bring us that money, and then we would have things we'd sell: matoke, kabalagala, gonja, bogoya, small things we'd sell, and we'd have money. My school fees was not that much. I was also a bright child, so somehow I used to have favors here and there. So money was like, maybe buy a dress for Christmas. Clearly, money was not one of those.
It wasn't a big deal.
Big deals that, oh my God, we do not have money now. It's over for us now.
Yes.
So I think my relationship with money is, I can make money. I promise you. Drop me anywhere. I'm going to do anything that I can in my power to do something to get out of any situation I'll be in at that particular time.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I wake up in the morning and I feel like you probably don't respect me, like I'm one of those people, I will get a job today. I feel like this job in 3 months is not doing it. Without second question, I will go.
You will go.
I'll quit, I'll look for another job, or I'll just drop me anywhere. Like, that is my mentality. Of my grandmother and my mom would bloom wherever they were planted.
Yes.
So I fear poverty so much that I just do not want to be there, and I cannot afford a plate of food. I just don't want to be there, and I cannot probably afford a shoe, a dress that I want. Yes, I've not afforded so many things that I would want, and sometimes I even, say, how can you buy a bag of 4 million? Because I cannot afford it.
In your heart of hearts, you know that if you had the money.
But still, in that manner, it's like money has not managed to get to me in that way of, let's say I am going to live in another place or anything. My first problem is not, oh my God, how much money do I have?
Yes.
The moment I am tired of where I am,
you're leaving.
I'm leaving. Like, I'm stepping. I'm those people who would rather start over and over and over again without fear of what am I leaving. You know those people who, like, you're married and the marriage is not working. You want to go and you even want to carry the remote. I'm just stepping outside, my babes. I am leaving. Thank you so much for that. How many years we have spent together. I'm starting over. Like, that is my relationship from where I grew up from, because not a lot of times we got a handover of, here is land. Because I remember, for example, when we were growing up, the land that our dad had left, for us, they gave us the smallest portion. My mom was the last wife, and we were the smaller ones. They gave us the smallest portions. And every time my mom wanted to try and fight for a bigger portion, I'm like, the ones who have the bigger portion, what are they doing with it?
Yes.
Nothing. We have our land and we are able to feed ourselves. We're just 3, I mean. Like, that feeling from how I grew up, because I grew up in that kind of thing. My grandmother was always fighting with her brother here and there. It's like, we can start off on our own and still survive, and with or without a handover.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so for you, it's like, Jesus, if I don't work today, I'm going back in 2000.
Yeah, and I think that's the fear. I usually tell people that I didn't have the privilege of, in as much as I come off as midwife, don't be deceived, I don't want to be a midwife. It's a lie. I didn't want to be a midwife. It's poverty that has me here, members. And so when I finished school, when I went to school, I was on a government scholarship, and so, those things of saying,
if the government hears this,
we are chopping those lectures, we are chopping them. So I would be among, we are chopping. Then after 2 minutes, I'm like, Sis,
lucky.
you are chopping the what? You're chopping the lecture of abnormal midwifery. You're
Why?
here with children of the rich.
Yeah.
You also want to forget where you've come from. Rita, I was the snake. I would go for that lecture, sis. Don't be deceived. Because you can't relate to where I come
Rat.
from. Yes, snake, see, I would go for that lecture because I would sit and hear my mother's voice telling me, pick those books, go to class.
School.
Do you know what it took for us for you to get that scholarship? Can
Yeah.
you go and study? So it was that fear. That's why I excelled, because I feared failure, because I knew there was no money to pay for the retakes and the whole registration process. So it was either you pass or you pass. So that background of poverty shaped me in a way that I don't want to fail, because if I fail, I have gone back. I have that fear of you're going to fail, and if you fail, that means you've gone back.
Now I understand why we should actually be friends.
When I finished nursing school, people were going home, man. People were carrying suitcases, going home.
Holiday.
The
Now we are
holiday.
waiting for them
Their
results.
parents are waiting for them. Results. We had loans, Rita. My mother had a loan. And the people that were supposed to pay that loan, it was us who were in school.
Yeah.
And so when I finished school, when we were doing our last paper, you finish the theories and wait for like a week to get done with the practicals. I went to look for a job. I was in West Nile.
Yeah.
I didn't have any relatives. The Gamba
you studied
Nogu.
from West Nile?
Yes. I didn't have any relative of Gamba Nogu. I went to my first boss, walked in and told him, Sebo, I need a job. I am a
Here I
qualified
am.
midwife. I am bright, I assure you. These are my former results. These ones, they are good. That means even the ones that will come will be good. Give me a job.
The audacity.
And he gave me a job. And people were shocked. How did you get a job? I didn't even know how to write an application.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a
CV.
CV was. I didn't have a CV for the 3 years that I worked for that man, by the way. I have just made a CV here recently. But I didn't have a CV. The guy, I think it's the confidence that gave me the job. He was like, okay. He did, of course, a background check. In the hospital, they told him that girl is good. She has been working. Or has been in the labor suit. And I got a job. And that's how I started staying in West Nile with no interviews. Everyone was like, oh, she slept with her boss. Era. And I'd be like, do you people know where I come from? Do you people know that I am in West Nile? Not because I love being here, but because I have loans and loans of money to pay. And if I don't work for this 300,000, no one is going to pay off the loans. Now, I was earning 300,000. When the salary would come, I would immediately go to the mobile money. They never used to pay us through the bank. I mean, the month would end, you go, they give you 300. So I would go to the mobile money, get 150, send it for my mother. Reason, bank loan. And that was it. So I learned how to work hard, because you either work hard or work hard. There is nothing like an in-between, or you will sleep and get a sugar daddy in the dream and then he pays the loans. It was hard work. So COVID came in the picture and we were...
COVID is so recent.
Yes.
God.
COVID came in the picture when I had spent like some little time working. And I mean, they locked us up, but of course the health workers were still working. So we had work permits. And I worked, but we had a lot of time. For some reason, we had a lot of time. So I used to spend a lot of time at my place then. One day, while I was in my bed, I was like, but you love washing. You love washing. You usually wash your clothes.
You love washing?
So much. You usually wash your clothes.
Jesus.
Now people at home, they are not moving, they are struggling. Arua has a lot of NGOs, so most of the people there are married people, but their spouses are in Kampala or Kabale or wherever, so the men are many. I'm like, how are these men washing their clothes? How about you start washing for money? Now, a land person, a midwife, a mchiga, a westerner, that's what they used to call us basheshe. When you're in Arua and you're amsheshe, you're a planned child. For them, they don't care. Those people don't think that we know poverty. In their heads, we are rich, we are planned, the government gives us money every month. That's what they have in their
government.
minds. Yes, so
The government be cheating.
Yes. So now imagine you're a msheshe, you're a midwife, you're not ugly, you don't look bad either.
Who's giving you this information?
Self-confidence, what do you tell me? It took me years to build this confidence, my friend. But anywho.
I'm not saying nothing.
And then you say you want to wash clothes for money. So I get a phone, call my friend who has a studio to this day lesson, and tell him I need graphics. I want you to create for me something that has washing clothes, cleaning houses, organizing, what, find a way of making it, put my numbers, put my Facebook account, create something. And Lassen creates it. And one day, it was midnight, I sent the template to all my friends. I'm like, midnight, please help me post this thing on your status. So it was a Tuesday. All of us at midnight, we launched. And everyone had Howell cleaning services all over. And we started looking for business. My first client was a rich guy. I remember he was called Paul. So when I showed up to his gate, at his gate to clean, he was like, are you the person I've been talking to? And with my eyes, I was like, yes. I was like, how can a beautiful young girl want to wash clothes for money?
Yeah.
I told him, I'm like, man, poverty does not know whether you're beautiful or
No,
young.
not, yeah.
Bring the basins, let me show you. I washed his clothes, cleaned his bathroom, did everything as a muchiga that I am who wants money. And at the end, it took me like 2 hours. Then he gave me 20,000. Now, I got another client. Clients used to give me business because I'm a midwife. They were always in shock. How can
a midwife?
So I was like the washing midwife. You see where you're the cooking nurse? They saw I was the cleaning midwife. That girl who
Why don't we continue the business in Kampala?
Yeah, I know, right? That girl who is a midwife at that hospital, she actually washes clothes as well. And I got money, a lot of money, by the way, because I remember, hard as it may sound, I collected 1.5 million out of washing clothes. Because I never used...
like 150 kgs of... Oh.
I never used to use my money for anything.
Yeah.
I would wash, get the money. I didn't have a bank account. Get the money, keep it in a box. Get the money, keep it in a box. Now, it's not that every client used to give me 20,000. I don't want to be like those motivational speakers who will come here and lie to you. I had a client, he was Congolese, and he would give me 150.
Wow.
Because he would be in shock. So every time I would do his laundry, he'd be like, I'm giving you 150. Go. Whatever it is that is making a young girl do laundry, I want to be part of it.
Wow.
Yes.
Those are the small acts of kindness we were talking about earlier on. The small things you do, and you're like, oh, the border guy wants 55,000 from here to Chisasi. Maybe no problem. I'll count this as my sadaka.
Yes.
The 3K, easy, no problem. You give it.
Yes.
Probably they have a reason, and you've been just part of that. And it's such small acts of kindness that we see success stories. We see, something as small as the janitor showing you where the CEO sits.
Yes.
Something as small as that could just change the trajectory of everything you're going to do. And it's those small things. When we talk about the things we have done for money, my babes, you have washed clothes, I have danced.
I can imagine you dancing. That thing has not sat well with me to this day.
One of the best traditional dancers you're going to find on this
planet.
From Ankole, meanwhile. From Ankole, I started dancing when I was, I think, 12. When I moved in with my mom, she was also a dancer. That's how we made money with her. That's how we built a small house. So she connected me with a few dancers. Then I met Prosek Nkunda of Vungabwa. Then I started dancing in functions. That's how I was able to make my pocket money. And I danced for like 13 years later. And me coming to Kampala here, I came as a dancer. So I talked to a troupe. And if you've not listened to my story, probably, I talked to a troupe using my other phone and lied. I have a friend, Rita, who wants to die. That's
what poverty has.
So I also had school fees loans that Joba had gotten in Chiboga. the boss was just playing small games, and I don't like playing games. I'm not a rabbit. So I quit the job. Like I told you, you disturb
You
me
would just
small, my
move.
babes, I am out. So I moved back to Mbarara. We were moving around. I worked at a hardware. From the hardware, I made the call to become a dancer. I came to Kampala. I started dancing 3 days. They asked me to dance the Chisogas dance. When you look at my waist,
It cannot dance
you are
chisoga.
welcome. So I danced, and there was no money coming through like as fast as I would have wished, because I think I was lied to. Like the person who pitched to me the trip told me they were paying 40,000 per show. So I had calculated my
You
money.
had that expectation
Yeah.
of, yeah.
If I become this, I can even go and dance in Ndere.
Oh dear,
and probably
yes.
even go to the US
Oh,
and
your
my
dreams.
babes. I came and there was no money. This was like an organization that was taking of underprivileged kids, so they would dance and then the money goes back to their school fees and taking care of them. I quit that. I became a nurse. Somewhere they were paying me 150, paying my rent of 40,000 and give me 5,000 per day, I think. And from there, Madams was not paying me properly. And I think I was sending all the money back home, so I felt like I was not working on anything for myself.
Yes.
I remember when I first bought my phone, 120, I saved for that money for 4 months. 120,000.
Yo.
Today,
Hi.
not today, 120,000. You do not go with it in CJs and you come back with
You
it.
don't come back with it.
I saved for 4 months to get that money. I bought my first Nokia. They stored it later on in Katwe.
Welcome to Kampala.
Ani alisonyewo oyo omwana. Ngasimu man.
Welcome to
Anyways,
Kampala.
I worked there, then I quit. After a few months, I got to a pharmacy. I worked at the dispenser. And there's this Indian who we used to sell. He used to have items. So he came, and one of his items was almost expiring. And I was like, why am I selling your product? What is in it for me? So it's like, when you sell this and it's done, you have 10% of all the carton. I sold it in 3 days. It got done. He's like,
Didn't you give people drugs that...
no, they were not expired. By the way, I'm one of the most truthful people.
the Florence Oath. The,
I don't know that. But I'm like
the Nightingale
that
Oath.
thing, that one. I'm one of the most truthful people. If I tell you something and I'm lying, you will not even know, because you're not even worth it. So I will always do the right thing whether no one is seeing. And that drug was expiring, I think, in like 6 months. Otherwise, it would be off the shelf in like 6 months. So that year, it was sold, and it's like a 3-day dose. So by 6 months, someone would have swallowed it. And then he was like, maybe you should join my company as a medical rep. And I'm like, okay. Another medical rep walks in, and he's like, AIM Global is here. There is money in AIM Global. You just bring 2 people, they give you 100. They bring 2 people, they give you 100. The chain was going. The chain was going. How many jobs have I done so far? Like, very many. So I saw the money in AIM Global. I saw the money in the
medical
marketing.
rep job, yes.
I'm like, AIM Global it is. I called my mom, borrow some money, let's go. We start buy the kit. In 8 months, I recruited about 4 people. They recruited others. We went to Kenya, got a few people under me because of the person who had also recruited me. So I think I made a total of 1 million in 8 months. I was living off my husband, my boyfriend then, and a few small chakara. I'm a good salesperson, and I was a nurse, so they had products. I would sell products.
Yes.
And they were working, by the way, so I would sell them to the village people. Someone comes with a few conditions, you prescribe this one, you sell, they bring others. So I lived off it like that. I went back to the Indian. I'm like, hey, my babes, I'm back now. See, life has not worked out as I planned. Here is a job. It's like, you were good. Here is a job. I go to Mbara. They wanted to actually post me in Arua. I was like, no, Senchu, I'm not the most polite person, and I'm not about to get slapped.
I know.
In a foreign land. You know, if it's a Mnyankore, you know how you're going into a terrifying situation and you can't scream in English?
Yes.
Yes. Now imagine me shouting in English.
No,
So I go back to Mbara. I work as a medical rep. Miss Tourism comes. I join Miss Tourism. I come back. I tell him, bro, see, by the beauty queen thing does not pay, so I need the job back. It's like, okay, since you're good, here you go. I go in the job again, join TV. Like, it has been, we are moving and moving. So there's so many things I have done for money. Most of them have been legal. I've not done anything illegal. When I say most of them, someone will say, well, what are the some that
The
were
ones
not
that you're not
illegal?
telling us in front of the camera.
No, I've not done anything illegal, but I have done pretty much anything. Like, I'm that one person who will jump on anything.
Whatever brings money, we are doing
money.
it. As long as
We are
it's not
doing
killing anyone. Oh, yeah.
If it's easy.
So it shapes you in
Yeah.
a way that you just want to make it. There is
Yeah.
nothing like an option of
The hunger.
what if I don't make it? You either make
Oh,
it
how will
or
they
not.
see me? A hot person like me.
I was washing clothes, and I remember I'm only washing for men. Beloved, I was only washing for men. So
Of course, the women.
what I didn't tell you was one day I get a client, of course through a friend, and I go to his house. He gives me the keys, like clean up. So I cleaned. I'm a passionate cleaner. The moment I say that I'm cleaning, there is a stain. We are removing it.
KCC?
We shall remove it. Like whether it's a stain and it's been there for years, I'm not leaving that tile unless that stain is off. My friend said that I have OCD, but yeah. So I cleaned that man's house. I remember he was an engineer. When he came back to his house, he was shocked. He asked me, why are you not making a company? Why are you just washing using
Doing
your hands?
yeah.
Why are you doing it manually? And that man, may God bless him wherever he is, connected me to the company that he was working for then. They had a deal to clean chairs. So he told them, I know a lady who can clean chairs. So what he did, I got paid before the deal. We raised enough money to buy a vacuum cleaner. I think that was like 2 million. We bought a vacuum cleaner. Remember, I had some money from my hand washing, like a 1 million. So we added on the 1 point something that came for the chairs. And that's how I bought my first machine, the vacuum cleaner.
Okay, we are reviving this business. Sharp.
Yes. I went with a vacuum cleaner, got the boys. We went, cleaned, scrubbed the chairs. And remember, I'm a hands-on person, so I'm not going to clean and there is a stain. When the GM came and saw the chairs, he was like, nah, we have another branch in Yumbe. We have another branch in Koboko. Before I knew it, I was on the road for like 2 weeks cleaning chairs. Remember, I am a midwife. So this money was always clean. Like, my midwifery salary would pay off the loan, the 150. Then I'm left with the 150 to do small things. And this money is kept safely. I don't have a bank account yet. So this friend of mine encouraged me. We registered the company with URSB. We registered it with URA. And we started getting small businesses that kept us running. That company paused when I lost my brother. When I lost my brother, I lost a part of myself. And I think that was like the sacrifice that I paid for the loss of my brother. When my brother fell sick, I got all the funds that I had, all the savings that I had, and dumped them in the hospital where he was, with hope that I would, get him back. And I mean, at the end of the day, when someone is sick, you don't care how much you spend. So when he died, I was like, so why are we working? Why are we living?
Where is this going?
What is the reason for life? And I was in that shock for the whole of 2022. I didn't do anything with the machines. I was just in shock. And that's how the company came to a pause. But I now left the cleaning and went into deco. I was like, but how about I do deco? And I did deco for the whole of the half of 2023. I was doing deco, bridal showers, baby showers, smanga dinners, organizational dinners in West Nile until I left West Nile and came to Kampala. And that deco money, because there is no way I was going to survive on 300. No, actually 150. There is no way. So I needed money. And the only way to get money was to work. So I am in the hospital from maybe 8 a.m. up to 2 p.m. 2 p.m. I'm running. Oh, I'm supposed to slash a compound. That boy has not yet reached there. I would get someone, they slash the compound, they give me 150K, I give them a 50, I take 100. So I was always on the move. And that is how, I managed to pay off the loans. That is how we managed to buy a few things that we bought as girls. And that's the biggest lesson I think that I have from my childhood. Hard work. Without hard work, you're going nowhere. As a girl of a poor mother, poor single mother, who has taken loans to ensure that you go through school. It's only hard work that will save you. And you don't have to pity patch. Like, I think I don't love this whole thing of saying, oh, now me, I'm a daughter of a single mother, so I am finished. Me, that was not an option. I mean, the world is not going to care whether you're a daughter of a single mother. It's still going to throw lemons, sis. It's still going to throw bullets. So, brace up yourself, get up, work, look for that money. Even if it means walking miles and miles for you to get that money, go and look for the money. That's the lesson that I've learned. And that's why even the job that I do, it is so hectic. But we are making the money. There is no in between. We are making the money.
Because when you say there's no one who's going to save us, I think it also manifests in my adult life as a friend, as a wife, as a mom, as me. Like, I am not expected to come and save you.
Yes.
Like, I don't want you to expect me to actually show up at any time in life.
Yes.
If I do, we thank the Lord. If I don't, we still thank the Lord. And it's not that I'm a bad person or a bad friend or I hate you. But I think that kind of situation conditioned me to show up for me.
Yourself, yes.
That no one is coming to save me. If I need rent, I am going to go and buy, rather make the rent.
Yes.
If no one gives me, in fact, I think last year, before my therapy, I used to feel so shocked when someone is kind to me. It's
yes.
Like, if you want my kidney, just say.
Like thief.
See, you don't have to even give me 1 million. Just tell me, I need your kidney, and that's it. Because why are you being so kind? It's like I saw my mom go after everything she wanted on her own because, I mean, who was there to give her the things she wanted?
Yes.
So it's like, I want something, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go and work for it. I've sold rice. I have sold, even here in this, my business.
You're selling us ghee, and you giving us ghee and millet.
Powder. I don't sell millet yet. I don't have a sustainable
supplier. But if you had
my
supplier,
mom finds a sustainable supplier, my babes, hook me up.
Look for me
millet. For good flour. One thing about me is I'm always going to be having the right item. So yeah, if I have a sustainable supplier, I'm selling. Because imagine we start this business, the first month, this building wants to be paid for. There's no one coming in to shoot.
Yes.
There's no one coming in for classes.
Oh, yes.
One day I'll tell you the story of that. You come and you're online, somehow you feel like, oh my God, you've made it.
Yes.
But no, you have not.
You haven't.
Until you get on the ground and start working.
Oh, yes.
That's when you will know that you're actually a small drop in the ocean. And very many silverfish are moving around. But it's nothing that does not make it to, pearl.
Today I posted something on my status that you have to work hard. You just have to remember that you're just a broke child with an iPhone or a smartphone or whatever.
Most of the times, that's all you have to remember.
And that's the truth. Like, you just have data and a smartphone, but otherwise you're broke, you're poor.
And
so you have to work.
I think it's from that way that you say, so now how do we sustain this that we have?
Yes.
We're going to sell anything and everything that we come across.
Anything.
I know we are going to try and act smart and do this and show up like we got everything figured out. And sometimes we'll even say, the cooking nurse. I'm not selling katogo. I'm not.
Yeah, katogo for who? We are going to sell the katogo.
I'm not going to do that. But for me, in my understanding, I remember when I had come from Miss Tourism, I had friends. In fact, some of them took off with the fame of Miss Tourism, the queen, we are here. Because by then I was the only queen who went back on ground, on the region. So it was like kind of cool when you walk into the band, they're like, oh, the queen. Yeah? Some people would even call you queen. And I remember those days as like the medical rep job, I got it back. I used to walk from Kakoba.
Yes.
I go to Mayanja. I walk from Mayanja. I go to Reb Corner. I come from Reb Corner.
The queen.
I go to the referral hospital. I come from referral hospital. I go to the side, like working on a daily. Because how much is the Indian giving me? 10K per day. This that 10K comes at the end of
the year. Very little money.
Of the month, brother. And 500K. I am renting. I have loans. I have at home. We were trying to build. We had moved. So it was up to me to either show up, look for more gigs, dance, like be out there, do something that other people are not doing. I learned how to do makeup. I become a makeup artist. Bo. I became a makeup artist. I would go and dance.
You never make me up. Let the
See,
viewers
we are all naked today. That's why we're in a new year. We are trying to let our
new
skins
us.
breathe.
Oh, yes.
So it's like me, when I look at myself, one of the things that this situation gave me
Yes.
was the ability to sit myself down.
Yes. And my mother usually says that omwana w'omworo naitwa omujere gw'enshohera. It means that if you're a child of a poor person, even a fly of a
house fly.
a kick of a fly can kill you. And when you look at it in the broader perspective, it's really not necessarily the death that comes with it.
Yeah.
But it means that you, as a child of a poor person, you don't have much.
Yeah, there's no much security.
You don't have much security. There is, you don't have much. So you either show up or
you
show
give
up.
up and just follow.
Yes, and just follow.
Those are the only two options.
And I usually tell people that for us, we don't have generational wealth. The think of, oh, my father used to work for the government, what. No. So it's up to you to be that mother who used to work for the government, who your children will be saying used to work for the government, or be that mother who your children will be like, oh, my mother used to own a studio. And you only do that by waking up every day and showing up.
Yeah.
Getting on the streets and showing up.
The point of talking to myself, like sitting myself down, I think has helped me understand when I don't have to do something for anyone.
Yes.
Like, if I am comfortable with something, I'm going to do it.
Yes.
If I'm not comfortable with something, I do not care who else is doing it, I am not doing it.
Yes.
If it does not bring me money, just because all of us are now
going to Cafe Javas for breakfast.
All of us now are going to CJ's for breakfast. Me, I am going to... I remember that time when I lost my job in 2021, and I did not know exactly where I was going to start from. I didn't know what to do. Now I was a mother who was jobless. My husband was not making a lot of money. So, yes, I could live off him, but something mediocre.
It was
pregnant, not the best life
you wanted.
And really, really not so sustainable. So I remember I said, so what do we do now? I had seen success stories online. I had a YouTube channel. I was not consistent. Now I don't even have money to continuously shoot for YouTube because it needs money. It needs you to have the fancy things. I sat down and I asked myself, so you do not have the fancy things, now what? So you do not afford chicken, now what? I accidentally started a diet. And by accident, I have been trying to fit in a bracket that I was not able to fit in.
Yes.
But because it was the norm, I was buying the fancy things. Okay, fancy-ish in that life, in that time, because, I mean, I've not bought caviar or salmon. But, like, those are some of the premium ingredients that are costly. Not costly, but like a kilogram of meat of 108, surely, you see.
That's costly. What are you talking about? How many shoes are those?
Those
are 18 pairs of shoes.
I sat down myself and said, the job is gone. The job, meanwhile, was not like gone of you're now completely fired. But I looked at it and I'm like, by the way, I deserve better.
Yes.
I would rather start from scratch from here than continue with this disrespect.
Yes.
So I leave this one. Now I am here on my own. I'm like, let us start from one. Every day at one. I would be posting the food I had yesterday. So I would cook, take a picture, prepare it for tomorrow at 1. Every day, without fail. 1 day, 7 days, again and again and again. And I think I got my breakthrough about 7 months into, when one of my pictures was Katogo. It took off, and it's like from then, the odds started aligning for me.
Yes.
That I was even scared. I kind of gotten bullied on social media. For someone who did not even have money to afford a piece of chicken, people started saying, oh my God, she's buying her way up. Oh my God, I'm like, I don't even know which app we are going. What am I going to do there?
What am I buying?
So I felt like, oh, I didn't even deserve it. It felt so much. There was so much pressure in that time. In fact, that is what led me to take therapy last year, because I felt like, I have gone through enough trauma. If I add on this trauma now online, I need help, and I got the help. Now I'm in a much better space. But like the consistency of one every day, like every day without fail, I would show up, I would do what I had to do because I had no option. I'd seen the success stories online. Mine could just be part of them. I haven't gotten the best online, success, but at least where we are right now.
You're not where you used to be.
Yeah, I'm not where I used to be.
And I usually tell people that the universe is kind.
Yeah.
To people who are consistent, to people who work hard.
And people who don't take their eyes off the prize.
Who don't take their eyes off the prize. The universe is kind. You're going to get there. I do not care how long it takes. I don't care what you have to go through. You will have to go through whatever you have to go through. But the bottom line is you're going to get there, and you're going to reach. And maybe another lesson that I learned from, the whole childhood situation and, growing up as a child from a humble background, was to know who you are. Who is Rita? Before all these other things, before social media, before the cooking nurse, who is Rita?
It's like a reality check.
Yes. What values does Rita stand for? Even when you go to West Nile, even when you go out of the country, who is Lucky? Is she going to be swayed because everyone is owning that iPhone? Will she feel less of who she is? And I always told people that there is no amount of peer pressure that is going to make me forget who I am. Come on, I was in a school where children used to carry bread, and my mother would with no shame Christmas and fear pack for me cassava or sweet potatoes, and she would pack tea
right now
in a Rwenzori bottle.
When you look back at it, it's like we were doing so badly. And imagine right now, we would kill for a sweet potato.
Yes. I am craving it. Like I would buy it at 2,000. I would buy it a cooked one at 2,000 if I can't have it. Yes, and like I look at that girl who owned an Inde shoe. The people who watched the episode before. Yeah. Yes, I had that Inde shoe for the longest time. I look at that girl and I'm like, what can break me now? What?
Nothing.
iPhone 15.
Let me tell you.
Nothing.
That reality check. I've told you I'm one of the friends that people, whether they are my friends or not, but feel comfortable talking to about something that is maybe stressing them mentally. Yeah, don't tell me about anything that's probably
finances.
I also need money. You get it? So I'm those people you call to talk about something that is stressing you mentally. You failed to find direction. The pressure is too much. The clutter is too much in your head. I will help direct you. Because the reality check of sit down alone in your room. Tell me, how much money do you have before you host a wedding?
Of 1,000 people.
Tell me how much money do you have as a person. How much? We are listening. You don't have, yeah? So we are only going to invite your parents. Is it that bad? No.
Won't you still get married? Won't you still be Mrs. Aguma or something?
Can we wait? Yes. If we cannot wait, what is the pressure for? Is it because so-and-so has done this? Or like the reality check of why are you doing what you're doing?
Yes.
The way you are doing it.
Yes.
That reality check helps keep you in line. Yes. Whenever you're about to say something or do something. I think we were talking about it even earlier on when you told me you should invite your friends and we come over and do something. And I'm like, before I invite someone, I'm going to look at their name 3 times.
Yes.
And then most of the times I'll be convinced it's not that deep. Most of the times it's like, don't disturb this one today.
I'm on the list, members.
You're on the list
I'm on the list of people who it is not that deep. Welcome me. I am a viewer like you, beloved. Let my sitting here not deceive
anyone. But no. Yes. Now, you'd also understand where I'm coming from in that kind.
Yes.
But slowly, it's the small habits. Keep checking on me. I cannot promise to not reply you with stickers. please, I'm going to reply you with stickers, with or without. But yeah, that reality check, because my mom used to do that every time we were going for a new term, she'd sit us down and tell us the reality of the things she already told us. Like, we already know these things, mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
She'd always remind us.
We know we don't have a father. We know you are not that much rich. We know.
We know you have loans. Thank you.
You are welcome. But we don't even force you to go and take these loans. But we know.
Yes.
But that reality of every time you're going to take a decision, ask yourself 2 times.
2 times, yeah.
Why?
And I think that whole reality check has kept us. It has made me who I am. No amount of pressure. Don't be deceived, members. Do not. No amount of pressure will have me doing something that I'm not supposed to do, because everyone is wearing a wig. No amount of pressure will have me.
Let us say the truth. You can't afford it.
No amount of pressure will have me buying
truth.
a wig of 200,000, yet I can still get the same thing at Gazaland at 30,000. No amount of pressure.
Anyways,
having a reality check.
There is that. There's that reality check, but I don't want you to get stuck in it and be like, the people who are buying the expensive ones are now maybe wasting, or
they are not wasting.
Stuff like that. Yeah?
They can afford them. I have a friend that you also know. She's a famous person on the gram, and she usually tells people who say, "Oh, I cannot do that recipe because I don't have smeg," and she tells you do not need smeg for you to have pork ribs that are nice. That's what she usually says. You do not need to have smeg. You do not need to have like crest or whatever it is for you to have those things.
The things that, especially online. Yes. Oh my God, we have grown up from these humble, humility-filled backgrounds, and now we are here on the internet.
Yes.
And the internet is not having any of our bullshit.
Yes.
It's giving it to us right,
people
left,
will
center.
own smeg, sis, and you're going to
People will have the best.
Your pork ribs in the saucepan, as long as they turn out as pork ribs. And that's one of the things I think we all should know.
That is what I always tell people, especially in my classes. Understand the genesis of things.
Yes.
Understand how things work, why they work, how they work.
Yes.
And the rest is history.
Yes.
Whenever someone says, don't put this spice in here, why?
Why shouldn't I put curry?
Or when someone says, oh, you shouldn't put this and don't do this, why?
Hey, because I have come to learn that we are all going through different seasons, and it's only beautiful if we embrace the seasons that we are
in as people,
and know that,
and actually have fun
while at it. Because now the season that I'm going through is the season of knowing that, I might not be able to afford a car, but I can sit in an Uber or in a taxi and not be hit by rain. I will embrace that season. When time for the car comes, brethren, it will be.
By the way, I thank God for Kampala Jam.
Yes.
My patience and this Kampala, very good. So, you see, like, for example, last year I was supposed to buy a car. Data.
You're lying to us. Cooking nuts, you're lying. We know how you usually sit on borders with those sacks of things from Nakasero. You don't want it.
You're ratting
you
me
do
out.
Not want it.
You're ratting me out. I would prefer a car when I'm going up country. So I'll just maybe go somewhere. But in this Kampala, I don't think so. Maybe I'll outgrow the feeling, maybe if I want to go out or something like that. But I do not have the patience to be going to buy stuff from the market. And now I'm seated in jam in Bokoto for 3 hours. So can I just leave this thing here and I go home and finish today's tasks? So also that dynamic, it's not that I actually wanted to buy a car last year. I couldn't afford. That's why I said I bought data instead.
Of sis when?
I bought data. So it's understanding that the situation, I don't know. It comes back to being grounded. Like, sit down and ask why.
Why? Where was
3 times.
I
Give us the reasons.
before,
3 times.
Before this internet, before this pressure and
Mama,
stuff.
the internet.
Who was
the
I?
internet
Who was
will
I?
humble
And
you.
I usually tell people right now, you cannot shame me because I used to go for coaching with rich people's children. They would be having jam on their bread, and me, I didn't even have
Those
bread.
guys audacity to have jam and bread at the same time.
From Ntare over here, so we are having the holiday coaching things, and then they have jam on their bread, and me, I have cassava. Yes, and they would have water bottles. I admired the water bottle, Rita, until I was in nursing school. That's when I bought myself a water bottle, and I'd be having my Renzori bottle with chai mokaru from yours truly, my mother's
it has sugar.
kitchen. 1 spoon of sugar. No, they would sometimes mix and then they put for you. People.
All of you.
Yes. So I grew up from such a background. And so you will not shame me because you have a wig.
Sometimes you look online and you see how people are parenting, how people are being internet.
You guys are sending your children into naughty.
No problems if that works, by the way, because in some way it also puts a mental toll on the kids. You don't think it's not effective. It actually is effective and can make anything that is done in form of punishment, whether it's beating you up, whether it's throwing you off the cliff, whether it's sitting in the corner or refusing to give you ice cream. A 90s kid will be like, you have refused to give me ice cream.
And then what happens?
And Alpha would be like, oh my God, without ice cream, I'm going to die. Jesus, I am losing my breath because of ice cream.
Yes.
So every time you go and you scroll now for people like me, but we tanga baneno bachuma cha Dutch, that I don't care. I'm just going to scroll through. It's just another normal day.
And say, hey, wow,
I used to tell people it's very hard for me to, like, for you to get me jealous, to make me jealous.
Yes.
Like, so hard, because on sometimes it's like, if you can do it, I can do it. If you have done this and this and this and this is what you've gotten, it means it's doable. What are the possible steps I can take? Can I get the job like you do? Can I do this? So on very many occasions, I think that kind of bringing up, I know when you go on TikTok, you'll hear people were saying it's so traumatic. It was, oh my God, it was so bad. You know, my mom, one time she took me to church and she told me to sit down like in a hard tone. Oh my God, I feel my heart was breaking. I understand there are so many times, micro moments, you look back and you're like, why were you mad?
Exactly.
Like, see, I was just a child. You couldn't hold yourself back and let me be. But it's understanding the genesis of why was your mother treating you like that. You did not deserve it. You did not do anything wrong. But they had that problem, or they were brought up in that manner, and that is how they knew best. That is the parenting system they knew. So you heal yourself. You understand why you do not repeat the same pattern. You break it here and you continue.
And I think another one of the things that I've learned talking about parenting was, I might not be sure about very many things.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that I don't want to parent like my mother. If she watches this, I'm finished. I do not want to parent like my mother. No. That was tough.
You see, the other thing is, when you do not have children, I went to a nursing school where there were people who were coming in to study as old people. And there was this guy who used to say, the nurses and the lab guys never used to have like a good relationship. So this one time we wanted to do a party with them. We were only 11 in my class and they refused to do a party with us. And he told them, if the hill goes into this situation and they do a party for this, they will not do a party for us. But you people are talking too much because Karamete is not in your household. And then he would say, when Karamete is not in your household, you have so much to say.
Yes.
So much to say that you would see someone who's spoiling their child like this and you're like, oh my God, this child.
Yes.
But sometimes, you see how our mothers parented? I have 2 children. Both of them are not being parented in the same way.
In the same way.
2 children, same womb. Both of them are not. I have one who is a bully. I have one who is so gentle. So I have to tame the bully and make the gentle one to also stand up for himself. So you can see, parenting is something that just comes natural.
It comes naturally.
Just hold yourself back whenever you're losing it on your end, to just make sure you give them a better experience of whatever they are going through.
Because I think now, if no matter what, all I know is that I'll extend more grace. Rita,
Yeah.
my mother, there was no explanation.
Because what
They
she had
just
gone
tell her
through.
that they saw you standing with a boy. She doesn't care whether the boy was asking you for his pencil
There
or pen.
is no smoke.
There is no smoke without
without
fire.
fire.
She will beat you. She will go to the mother of that boy and tell your boy to stay away from my gun.
Because why are you borrowing a pencil from my gun?
Ah,
See, you have parents
that,
also.
That was it. And I grew up with that fear of, I feared her so much. Like, oh my God, I don't want to tell her this. I do not want to tell her this. Now, I love my mother so much. That's the disclaimer. I love her. I could do anything for my mother. But that love was so tough.
It was so tough
That
because
love
that
was
is
so
what
tough.
she knew best.
But it shaped us.
And yeah.
It shaped us.
Well,
There
those
are
kids
things
from
I
the
cannot
you
do.
people.
There are things I cannot do to this day because I'm like, what will my mother say? That the
How
girl
will
that she
she
raised,
feel?
even if I am old, the girl that she raised is here doing this rubbish. The girl that are these the values that she, instilled in me. So may we not forget, even with this pressure of social media that comes, I usually tell people, maybe when we are going through social media, Twitter and stuff, and someone is wearing a very skimpy thing, I tell them my mother will kill me. Like, I don't care how old I am. There is no miracle that will have me wearing that dress. My mother will kill me.
But you see, sometimes, I don't know. There's a version of me that I also look at and I'm like, who are you? Like, what
Yes.
happened? What changed?
Yes.
There is so much grace. If you want to do something, as long as, by the way, you did not slap me,
You didn't
I
slap
have
me,
no
yes.
problem.
And I remember I was telling someone the other day that no matter, there was there have been trending videos of, how people maybe when people are getting married, the traditional marriage,
Yeah.
and people are dancing, they're all over the place, they're, happy. I told people, I only need one side eye from my mom.
To calm
One,
yourself down.
like one side eye from the tent of the parents
parents.
for me to just walk gently. She will not even talk. She will just be like, Lucky. And I will walk gently, pick my husband, bring him in a
Let me tell
and
you,
get done.
I feel like the world is so diverse.
Yes, it is.
My background shaped me into who I am today, but I love that the present has given me a chance to go back and come back.
Yes.
All at the same time.
Yes.
So if someone wants to jump and you fall off, easy.
But it will not be
But
me.
it's not going to be
yes,
me.
that's what I'm meaning.
Thank
Like,
you.
please jump. It's not me. It's not
not going to be me.
Wear that dress, but please, thank you.
Self-awareness also is very important. I'm not about to be... one time I was in this therapy session, and she told me, if you catch yourself saying, I am enough, I am beautiful, every day, you're reminding yourself every day, it's because you are not.
Ay, bambe. No, that's a straight bullet, man. Because I usually tell myself, careful and wonderfully made.
It's because you are not. If you were, you would know.
Members.
Like, you do not have to remind yourself every day.
That therapist.
So, like, it was a long chat, but I remember that thing coming in, that by the time people are doing these things of reminding themselves, it's because one, either they are not, or they do not believe they are. So they have to keep on reminding themselves,
Over again.
So sometimes this whole thing of self-confidence, and then you want to just bombard it on other people, is like,
Please.
let whoever wants to be uncomfortable be.
Yeah.
Show up unapologetically. You don't have to look at me and I'm looking at your dress like this with my face on the day. Why are you looking at me like that? That is so rude. Do you know me as a plus size person? I should be allowed to also show. I did not say anything now. Sister,
But we all know that in your mind you said something. Why
I
are you
did not say
pretending?
anything. I'm probably looking at this dress and wondering how the manufacturer was thinking, actually be this inclusive. Like, we could just be doing some, but that, I don't know. But I think it's us, because the alphas and the Gen Zs are not about this drama.
Yeah, they are just
They're
doing
just
who
doing
they are.
what they want to do.
They don't
They'll show
care.
up how they want to show up. It's us who are always explaining, you see, for us who are like this, for us we are like this.
For us who are raised by single mothers.
So I am glad for the lessons we have learned. Probably we're going to pass them to the people who are going to come after us, the ones we are giving birth to, of course, because it's no longer taking a whole village. If I touch you, on my child, I'm plucking your braids off.
We shall arrest you.
Thank you.
And maybe another thing is, while at it, may we extend grace.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
Grace
something.
at all times.
Our childhood traumatized us. We had a conversation earlier before we were on set, and we were talking about how traumatic our childhood left us. We were so traumatized. It was such a traumatic experience for you to
When
grow
you
up.
look at it now, that
Yes.
is how you can say, oh my God, this
Yes.
was
It was
bad.
so
this
bad.
was-"
It
But
broke us.
I remember also from the same sessions when she told me, you didn't deserve that, and I understand.
Yes.
But from when I look at the mirror right now, I did. I was so problematic.
But you only know that you did because you attended therapy classes.
Because
and
I
you
have
healed.
done now, yeah,
Yes,
I've
and you
done
have
that.
healed.
But-
And so, I mean, if you can, if
I
you
was so
if
problematic.
you can
Oh my
embrace
God.
therapy, if you feel you need healing, please, and you can afford therapy.
Most times the
take
sick
it
never
on.
know they are.
Yes,
Until
take
it's
it
too
on.
much.
And if you feel, I mean, you can always talk about it, but also extend grace and
Yeah.
pick lessons from those childhood memories and
You
traumas.
see, one thing I've also, I think, learned over time is we cannot predict the future,
No, we can't.
but we can actually predict the future. When you look at the past,
At the past.
the only notes you have are things that happened
In
last
the
year.
past, yes.
If you say you want to lose weight this year,
I'm on a diet, members.
if I speak, if you want to lose weight next year, what are the things you are doing last year
year.
that did not work that you're planning on changing this year?
Yes,
So when
yes.
you look back, when people say, oh my God, the past is the past, we shouldn't look back, I don't agree.
We
I'm
need
those
to
people
look
who
back
want
to
to
the
go
past.
back and we talk about what you did,
That past has shaped us.
what happened, what was your contribution, then we can move on. Not that I'm mad or anything, I'm confronting you or anything, but I want you to be able to look at that so
And
that
own
we
it.
avoid
Yes.
this happening again in the next year.
And
Only
I think we shouldn't run away from our past. We should actually embrace it, own it, and then pick up the lessons that we have picked from that messy
the moment
past.
you
And
look back in the mirror, you come back on the table, you sort everything, it's all going to be good.
yes, and
Give
so
it
that
a
you
name
don't
and it's
repeat
done.
those mistakes again.
patterns, you break
can
it.
only not repeat the mistakes
If you know them. And they are
but now,
details.
if you're running away from those demons and you're keeping them in the closet, you will never not repeat the mistakes again. But also, while
Exactly.
at it, extend grace to yourself.
That's the word from Lucky for this year. Be gracious. Extend some more grace a little bit. If someone punches you, maybe you should punch them back. Anyways,
Thank you.
It was nice having you, Lucky, once again. And I hope this was such an insightful conversation for whoever is going to listen to it. And I hope one day they can look back, or we can look back and be like, we thought we were fat. Look at us.
Look at
Slender girls, beautiful girls.
Eh,
and
in
we'll
our
say,
50s.
I am enough. I am. Anyways, have a lovely, lovely day or evening and happy new year. I think we are still in Feb or something like that. So
Yes. Don't forget to subscribe and like.
to the good old days.
Yes.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.